Most people with no friends didn't lose anyone. They stopped pretending, and the room emptied on its own. There's a certain kind of person whose circle keeps shrinking, and it isn't because something is wrong with them. It's because something inside them refuses to pretend anymore. You know the feeling. The room is full, the conversation is loud, and somewhere underneath all of it, your chest goes quiet in a way nobody else seems to notice. You leave gatherings earlier than you used to. You read the message and don't reply for a day. You watch the group chat light up and feel further away with every notification. You cancel the plan and feel relief instead of guilt, and then feel guilty about the relief. This is what nobody tells you about people with no friends. Most of them didn't lose anyone. They stopped performing, and the room emptied on its own. The reason it happened, the part most people never connect, is older than any friendship you ever had. But before we get to why, look at what your body is already doing without your permission. Small talk drains you in a way that feels almost physical. Your jaw tightens, your shoulders rise, your mind starts looking for the exit before the conversation is halfway done. Then there's the second thing. You can sense a fake person within the first 2 minutes. It's not what they say. It's something underneath their face. Once you sense it, you can't unsense it. Group settings make you quieter, not louder. The bigger the room, the smaller your voice gets. You're not shy. You're just running everyone through something. Then comes the one that confuses everyone around you. Plans you said yes to last week feel like a weight by the time the day arrives. The relief when something cancels louder than the disappointment ever was. For a long time, you thought you were the only one wired this way. You're not. Around 1 in 5 people are born with a nervous system that reads the room before the room knows it's being read. There's a part of this nobody connects, and it keeps getting sharper as you age. You notice when people stop listening mid-sentence. Most don't. You do. After you notice it enough times, you stop offering the sentence at all. By the time you noticed it, the pattern had already been running for years. You'd rather have one real conversation at 2 a.m. than 10 polite ones at a dinner party. Surface talk feels like eating air, and somewhere along the way, you've started to prefer your own company in a quiet way that surprises you, like coming home to a room you forgot was yours. If you're recognizing yourself in most of this, what's coming next names what's happening underneath. The thing underneath all of it, you think you have no friends because something inside you is broken, too sensitive, too distant, too much. It was never about social skills. It was about something your nervous system learned a long time ago, when you were too small to put it into words. You learned early that being around people came with a cost. Watching the room before you could relax, reading a face to know if you were safe, making yourself smaller just to keep the air calm. So your system built a quiet filter, a second skin that scans every interaction for one question. Is this person safe enough to be myself around? And if the answer is no, your energy walks out of the room before your body does. This is the quiet filter. Your small circle isn't a flaw. It's a sorting system that's been running without your permission since you were a child. This is not who you are. This is what you learned. And once you see where the filter came from, the next thing makes sense. Why what looks like distance is actually doing something else entirely. A child doesn't decide to build a filter. A child builds one because the room around them gave them no choice. When the people closest to you ran warm one moment and cold the next, you stopped trusting the surface of things. You learned to listen to the silence between sentences, to watch the shoulders before the face, to feel the temperature of a room the second you walked in. This is what nobody tells you about people who walk alone. They're not avoiding people. Their bodies just stopped settling for something that only looks like connection. What looks like distance is you being careful with something soft. What feels like loneliness is your system finally willing to wait for the real thing. The part of you that learned to walk alone wasn't running from people. It was protecting something soft underneath that the world couldn't be trusted with yet. That child who started watching the room, they were doing something brilliant. They were keeping you alive in a place where being fully open wasn't safe. The filter wasn't a flaw. It was the smartest thing a small nervous system could do. If any of this has been sitting heavy, talking to someone you trust or someone trained to listen can make more difference than you might expect. Every behavior you use to call broken, the smaller circle, the canceled plans, the quiet room you came home to, none of it was you turning away from life. You were waiting for the kind of connection that didn't cost you yourself. What's coming next is the part you've always felt, but never had the words for. The quiet filter isn't keeping you alone. It's keeping you available for the real thing. Somewhere along the way, you stopped trying to belong everywhere and started waiting to belong somewhere true. That waiting feels like loneliness on the surface. Underneath, you stopped handing yourself over to rooms that wouldn't remember your name anyway. The smaller your circle gets, the more honest it becomes. What you used to mistake for being left out was actually being returned, slowly, gently, back to yourself. You were never meant to be everyone's favorite person. You were meant to be a few people's home. The ones who walk alone for a while are usually the ones who refuse to disappear.